Gary, do you like my Captain American cup? I've got two. I got a full-size one, and I got an oversized one and a full-size one. And both those were given to me by people who love me. And these are my Jaylee Bob the Builder cookies. And you notice it's a little smaller than it used to be because Bob the Builder, I think, was looking out for me. So I eat two of them. But you know what? I can't eat one in a whole bite when I've had to dip my coffee. And that way I quit dribbling and getting stuff in my beard. So we're going to start off this morning with a this is the Bob the Builder cookie. This is the Jaylee cookie. So we're going to start off with Bob the Builder. And thank you, Bob. Here we go. And in it goes. My Jaylee cookies are the best cookies. Thank you, Bob. Now, so I don't stop midstream, thank you, Jaylee. There it is. Second cookie, immersed. You know what the interesting thing about the Bob the Builder Jaylee cookie is? You know, when I get towards the end of my pile, you know, they dry up a little bit. But the moment they hit that coffee, wham, they're back to being great cookies again. So I never have a bad Bob the Builder Jaylee cookie. And part of that is due to the sherry coffee I get. Now, you know Christmas is coming. It is. And unfortunately, there are more family fights, knockdown dragouts, people jailed, people who are intoxicated, stoned out of their gourd, than this time of year, this part of the month, all the way after New Year's, than any other time in the whole year. Within these 3 weeks, there'd be more fights, homicides, there'll be more assaults. I mean, it's amazing. And most of them are going to be in-house, which means between families or friends. So I want to talk about that this morning, how to enjoy your Christmas and how to give the gift that people really, truly, honestly need. And don't worry, don't have to put your hands on your wallet. This is going to be a freebie if you got the courage. The Bible teaches us, forgive and you shall be forgiven. That's important. It also teaches us to give. And when we give, the Lord returns that giving in a multitude of abundance in various areas of our life. So when I forgive, I can almost do it selfishly. Because if you're like me, you've been a hooligan most of your life, a troublemaker, a problem child. So every time I give the gift of forgiveness, I'm actually helping myself. You see, because we are going to be judged by the very standard by which we have judged others. If I show kindness, I'm going to reap kindness. If I'm going to show mercy, I'm going to reap mercy. And as bad as I've been, I need all the mercy and kindness I can get. So I'm going to help stack the deck in my favor by being obedient to the scripture. Think about it for a moment. If I forgive, I'm forgiven. That sounds profitable. And if I am kind, I shall receive kindness. That sounds profitable also. So think about it for a moment. This time of year, I don't know what type of family you grew up in, but ours was kind of rough around the edges. You know, there were events around this time of year in which even my family broke up and never came back together. And actually, it was on December 29th, which is an important day to me, and I remember it. But during this time of year, from now until after the first of the year, people really will fight and argue. And why? Because money and kids are indirectly at the heart of it. Now, let me tell you, in all honesty, it shouldn't be. Kids, our whole deal with children is that we should actually be a blessing to them and give them something marvelous and something to remember. As a Messianic, I believe that Yeshua's birth was not in December, but it was actually in September, around the time of Sukkot. However, I have these marvelous memories, at least I got some horrible memories also. I got some marvelous ministries of Christmas. Not so much with the family I grew up in, but with my children. Okay? And in those early years. But in the house that I grew up in as a kid, fighting and arguing, drinking was always a part of it. And it made it very difficult sometimes. And I think mom and sometimes dad attempted to do the best they could. And those were the good memories I hold on to. Now, when it comes to my children, okay, Winnie and I grew up in a pretty poor situation. And our children grew up in a very poor environment, and predominantly because of the ministry. But you know what? I did my best to make Christmas everything it could be. First, by concentrating on it spiritually, and secondly, by concentrating on generating good memories for my children. We went out Christmas caroling. We had hot chocolate or apple cider. We gathered with a few friends. But there were years we were so poor. I made the Christmas presents. I found some wood, I found some glue, I found some clamps, and I began to make Christmas presents. And you know what? I think my kids still have those presents even today. Especially the boxes I made for them, like little keepsake boxes. No, I'm not crying. My nose is a little running. But you didn't need to know that, now did you? But we need to generate memories in our seasons of celebration. So our children have something to take on into the future. So our children's children's children will have something to remember. Someday, God will bless me with great grandchildren. And I want to leave some memories for them too. But the first memory I have to start with is how I've been offended, how I've been wounded, how I've been mistreated, or even if it wasn't, it's how I perceived I was. You know what I mean? So my first gift on Christmas this season is the gift of forgiveness. In fact, let me just be historically accurate. That's why Yeshua came, for the sake and the ministry of forgiveness. And so if I'm going to celebrate his birth, I need to celebrate his purpose, which is giving the gift of forgiveness, just as he gave to us yesterday, today, and forever. We can be the instruments of mercy and grace by giving a gift of forgiveness. Now, let me tell you what it's going to cost you. I told you, don't worry about your wallet. That's not going to be the issue. What it costs you is the willingness to take upon yourself the expense of the offense. The expense of the offense. In other words, if my neighbor, that crazy young man, okay, owes me $50, then the ministry of forgiveness says, when you forgive him, you have to let the $50 go. Or I had an uncle, okay, who I just didn't like and got mad at him at a family reunion. I was like 11 years old. What do I know? And I harbored that for a while until I realized that there's no value in harboring frustration or anger. So the gift of forgiveness liberates both parties, that they can celebrate together. But the cost is you willing to let it go or to take upon yourself the expense of forgiveness. This is a big deal, very big deal. Can you forgive someone for their actions? Well, Yeshua did. He said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. I can say that about a lot of people. They don't know what they're doing. So, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing, period. So I'm going to forgive them. Okay. So I'm going to sneeze. I hate that in the program. So excuse me for a moment. How uncouth. How human. Can you forgive me? Hopefully. But let's go on to this business, this Christmas. You know, people will stand in the corner and they'll ring the bells, and this charity and that charity will go on TV. They'll ask for money, or your church might, or your synagogue might. I don't know about you, but in the past, I always felt like bloodsuckers, leeches. I want to realize that was not their issue, it was mine. This is the season for giving. But other people make it a season for spending. And I was wrong. When I see the lady ringing the bell for Salvation Army, I'll ask her how it's going. Now, I ask her if I can take that bell for a few moments to see if I can raise some money, because I look the part. You know what I mean? I look the part. So I'll stand out there ringing the bell going, ho, 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 give some dough. Ho, 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 give some dough. Oh, we need a little bread, Fred. Anyway, yes, I'm funny. But I do it. I really do those things. And if I'm in Walmart or a grocery store someplace, and I see a little kid just kind of gloomy, riding in the cart, to lean over a little bit with the parents' permission. Oh, 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 I won't forget you. You're a good boy or girl. What does it cost me to be kind? A moment? A word? What does it cost me to be kind when I forgive? A moment, a word, and a willingness to let something go, to let it pass. That's right. This is the season of giving forgiveness, for having mercy and acts of kindness. This is the season. Because as the good book says, when the star appeared, the wise followed it. The wise men followed. And then the angel says, peace on earth, goodwill to men, on whom his favor rests. If that is us, on whom his favor rests, then we must do likewise. Give peace on earth and goodwill to our fellows by giving a gift of forgiveness. Well, that's my spew for today. And by the way, I happen to believe these things I tell you. I really do. And I think the most beautiful thing we can do this season is to embrace those we have not embraced for a long time. I'm not saying let your guard down. I'm not saying, okay, don't be careful or blind. What I'm saying is give a gift of forgiveness, and we will be blessed in like manner. So go ahead and if you would, hit one of those buttons down there. It's really up to you. But the one that matters most is when you give by hitting the send share button. That's what counts. Yes, we could use a little dough, but we're not taking money off of our programs at this time until we find a different source. So you got like and you got donate. And those are the two No, we got like and share. And those are the two that matter. So bless your church, bless your synagogue, bless your parish, bless the group that you worship with. And may God bless you in the process. Let us make Christmas again with a gift of forgiveness. So until tomorrow, Thursday night's program happens to be Hanukkah and Christmas, and what is the relationship between the two of those? So, you want to find out? 6 o'clock right here, YouTube and Facebook. So may God bless you and keep you. Cause His face to shine upon you.